You've heard of Oprah Winfrey, but do you know her backstory? Oprah's grandmother was a maid, her mother was a maid, and her mother before her had been a slave. One day when Oprah was a little girl, her grandmother told her, "I hope you get some good white folks like I have." That was the world's message to Oprah. But she felt something different. She later said, "The voices of the world told me I was poor, colored, and female, but God had another vision for me." What we truly believe about ourselves shapes our destiny. From the time we're very young, many of us, though, are conditioned by the world to believe that we have to prove ourselves, that our value depends on what we accomplish, what others think of us, or how well we fit in. But our true identity is received, not achieved. Do we really believe what Doctrine and Covenants section 76 verse 24 teaches? That by him and through him and of him the worlds are and were created, and the inhabitants thereof are begotten sons and daughters unto God. Not just made by God, not just known by God, begotten, his. That means our worth is not something we have to earn. It's something we already have. But the problem is we don't always really feel it in our hearts. I know I've struggled with this. There are moments when I feel like I'm not enough, like I have to prove myself. And maybe you felt that too. In our heads, we know that we're children of God, but we still compare, compete, and strive for approval. We tell ourselves, if I could just achieve this or look like that, be more successful, then I'd be enough. But God simply says, "You are my child. You are already enough." Now, you might be thinking to yourself, that sounds nice, but what if I don't feel like I'm good enough to be God's child? Here's the really good news. Your identity is not based on what you feel. It is based on whose you are. It's not about what you've done, but what God already did. The truest thing about yourself is not what you tell yourself. It is what God has declared about you. You are a child of God. Oprah understood this. When she saw herself as God saw her, her life changed, and the same is true for us. When we really believe that we are begotten sons and daughters of God, we don't live for approval, we live from approval, God's approval. We don't have a need to compare ourselves to others because we know their worth does not diminish ours. If we really believe this, not just in our heads, but in our hearts, imagine the joy it would bring. Think of the prodigal son. He squandered everything, lost himself, and he thought he was no longer worthy to be called a son. So he returned home, saw his father, and started his prepared speech about how he only wanted to be a servant. And then his father interrupted him mid-sentence. Why? Because the son had misunderstood his identity. He thought his failures had changed who he was, but the father saw him for who he had always been, his son. We sometimes live as if our identity is fragile, something we have to build or prove. But God doesn't wait for us to earn a title. He has already given us one, a begotten son or daughter of God. And what other title could possibly compete with that?